All right, UAB versus Georgia.
And Georgia just came out and slugged them.
Slugged them. And
Slugged them.
old JT
Without,
Daniels didn't even start. It was the other guy, Stetson Bennett. He
yeah,
threw
he threw
5
for
touchdowns on the day.
and he had 10 completed passes.
Oh my God, I didn't even know that. It's terrible. I mean, that's good. Oh, I don't know. That must have mean every touchdown he threw was like a bomb.
Yeah. He
I
threw the
mean,
ball 12 times and completed it 10 times for 5 touchdowns.
yeah, that's just rough.
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
yeah,
UAB
Georgia,
and UAB was predicted to be a pretty good team going in. They were predicted to give Georgia a chance and a run. They did score more touchdowns than Clemson was able to. I'll give them that.
it's true. But also they allowed a lot more touchdowns than Clemson allowed. So
All right, there you go. That's true also. Offensively, we need UAB's offense.
that,
We need to keep
yes.
our defense. Boom. There you go. I'm just kidding about that. I'm not serious. All
Yeah,
right,
Georgia won 56-7.
a
Just wanted to
blowout.
put that stat out
All right, next Texas A&M Colorado.
there. Man,
Oof, what a game this was. This was, if you watched this game, it was terrible. I mean, it was bad. And it's not because a lot of people will sit here and be like, oh, it was a defensive struggle. Now, I believe that from the Colorado side of things, Colorado's offense was stifled against Texas A&M's defense. But on the other side of things, Texas A&M's offense was a disaster.
yeah. Pretty much when their starting quarterback, Haynes King, got injured and
It
left
was
the
like at the
game.
beginning of the game, like at the first
Yeah, the first
5
quarter.
minutes.
The backup was awful. Like,
Oh, he was terrible.
he had the game-winning touchdown, but the Texas A&M defense helps. Like if it wasn't for that defense,
Oh,
Colorado
no.
wins. Yeah,
I mean, if they scored one touchdown, they would have. When did they win? 10-7, right?
yeah,
If they would have scored one more touchdown, they would have won the game. But Colorado was only able to score 7 points.
exactly.
And that guy, I mean, Calzada had that fumble he had. What an incredible fumble that
Oh yeah,
was. I mean, that was
right on the
incredible.
line.
I mean, that was insane. And the poor guy was leaping over the goal line. Man, what a game that was.
It was a good. It was. I mean, I enjoyed
What a
it
bad
just for
game
the
that was.
fact that I was
I did
wanting
not
Texas
enjoy
A&M to
that. That
lose.
was torture.
I
That
was
was like hell waiting on Iowa. Iowa and Iowa State and Texas A&M, Colorado were the burner games after the good 12 o'clock games to the later games, and it was awful. It was like, how do we get past this terrible brand of football? Because that's what it was. Even Iowa State will go ahead and move on to them. Iowa won 27-17. It was not that close. I mean, Iowa pounded them the whole game. Brock
yeah,
Purdy, Brees Hall looked terrible.
awful.
Brees Hall was a fumbling machine. All he wanted to do all game was give Iowa the ball back.
Yeah,
And then Brock Purdy threw a bunch of interceptions. I mean, they look bad. Bad.
it was bad. Yeah,
Ryan was
Iowa's
right.
definitely the best team in Iowa. So there you go.
Ryan was right. I want to give credit to Ryan. I've been defending Iowa State. He has been criticizing them heavily. Now I don't know about Oklahoma still, but I will give credit where credit is due.
Okay.
He was right about Iowa State. They're terrible. I don't know if that means the Big 12's bad or Iowa State or Iowa's great or whatever. But good God, that was awful to watch. That was a terrible game. A terrible game. I knew game day should have went to Texas.
I should have.
Realistically, they should have went to Oregon versus Ohio State. That's game day. But they weren't calling that game. So I see why ESPN didn't go there. So
Sad.
they're going to go where they're calling the game nowadays. So there you go. Bada bing, bada boom. Iowa's looking like the best team in the Big Ten coming out of it. That's just my opinion, though. All right. Also, we cover one more Pac-12 game. Pac-12 is terrible. Oregon looks very good. If you go through the rest of the Pac-12 games, they're awful. Stanford, USC, the flagship program. It's UCLA and Oregon for the Pac-12. There ain't nobody else. Maybe Arizona State. They haven't played anybody for us to even really find out about them.
Play Fresno State next week.
Ooh, Fresno State, good. That's one thing. I know we didn't come out covering Fresno State. Well, they're a good football team. That Jack Hayner dude, great. Needs to be number 1 pick in the NFL draft. Because I don't think there's anybody else. Matt Corral, maybe? But they haven't played anybody either. Louisville stinks. That's just my opinions. Those are just my opinions. All right, there you go. South Carolina versus East Carolina. South Carolina, I will defend you because I am the South Carolina guy on this panel. The other one on the other side of things doesn't like you. He hates you way more than I do. But I remember what old Michael Jordan said. Gamecocks buy sneakers too. It's true. So, with that being said, it's true. It's true. It's true. With that being said, that was a rough game. We had stated this all the way back from when we started about college football. When Luke Doty first got hurt, we said if he wasn't back for this game, they were going to be in trouble, and they were in trouble. They won. Zeb Nolan did not look good. The defense, I'm not sure if it looked good or if East Carolina's offense is bad. I think it was a mixture of both. I do think South Carolina has a pretty decent little defense. I don't think
especially
it's the
flying.
best, but I don't think it's the worst either.
Yeah.
Um,
Fun stat for this game. I don't
oh
think
God,
Carolina held the lead at all until that final kick
yeah, they
after
didn't.
the final second.
They were tied obviously for a while, but that happened when I mean they might have been tied. Weren't they tied at one point, 14-14?
Yeah, they were tied a couple times, but
Oh, yeah, they were tied
anyway,
7-7, and then East Carolina got the lead back at 14-7,
I
if my
think I
memory
think it's a
serves.
good win for Carolina. East Carolina's not bad. Like, they're a decent program.
Look,
You gotta get wins where you win. Like, as you said, you gotta win the games you're supposed to win and lose the games you're supposed to lose.
when you're at the bottom of the mountain, Arkansas has been at the bottom of the mountain for 10 years. Let me tell you something. You can either lose to East Carolina or win by 3, or you can lose to Jacksonville State and be a totally meltdown of a program. Let me tell you something. Florida State would be sitting here today being like, man, thank God we beat Jacksonville State by 3. You know what I mean? That's the way they think, you know? A win is a win, no matter how it comes and no what way.
Exactly.
You win the football game, you win the football game. Trust
Yeah.
me. It don't matter how ugly it is. It don't matter how pretty it is. Like
Wins a
Mike
win.
Thomas, listen to Mike Thomas press conference today, and he said, I don't care about style points. We won the daggone football game. It's true. They won the football game. Could be worse. Could be a lot worse.
Worst. I mean, they're 2-0.
Um,
I mean, like, obviously you want to be healthy for your next game. You got to get Harris back because I think he was still hurt because they weren't playing him that much.
yeah,
Uh,
Kevin Harris looked, he didn't have enough runs.
yeah, he was.
There,
I think they're still
my
easing him in.
Carolina insider did say they're doing running back by committee right now.
Mm.
I think that's fine.
Yeah, and they
But
said Luke Doty said he was 100%, but Shane Beamer said they didn't feel right about it, so they kept setting on it. So I would
they
think
better feel right coming up. They better feel right coming up. You ain't playing East Carolina no more.
honestly, I
That
wasn't
is
playing.
crazy. They're gonna
I
get
wasn't playing against Georgia.
smacked.
Georgia's going to smack.
Georgia's gonna smack them. I don't even know if Arkansas will probably get smacked by Georgia too. Will get smacked by Georgia. I get it. Trust me. Eesh, poor. That's gonna be nasty. I feel bad for him. I really do. Western Carolina versus Oklahoma.
Beautiful game. Beautiful game. Obviously, Western Carolina, so they suck. But it was a nice change of pace.
Is Oklahoma ever going to play anybody or what?
Yeah.
Nebraska? Jesus. I guess that's not Oklahoma's fault. They are playing a big a Power 5 team. And you never know. You never know. And I mean, Nebraska. I mean, Illinois, I will talk about them a little later, but they have completely collapsed. You think that was a week 0 fluke, or is Nebraska really as bad as we think they are?
A little bit of both, honestly. I mean, we'll find out in this game. I think this game will be a lot more challenging than Oklahoma thinks it will be. However, Oklahoma did win 76-0 over Western Carolina.
Oh my God.
It just looked. I mean, Oklahoma was just the dominant team. There was just no question. Every single play, even when the backups were in. Rattler looked amazing. He threw for 5 touchdowns. We'll see how they play against a Power 5 team in Nebraska, and then after that, we'll start Big 12 play. But huge win for Oklahoma.
Power 5 team versus Nebraska. Suck it. That's so dumb. Like I said, it's not Oklahoma's fault. It's not Oklahoma's fault. It's like when Alabama played Duke a couple years ago. Like, hey, what are you doing? What are you going to do? You know what I mean? You can't help that. I mean, they shouldn't have scheduled Duke, but regardless, it's not Oklahoma's fault that Nebraska stinks.
Yeah, Duke was in the Orange Bowl a few years ago.
Say what?
Duke was in the Orange Bowl a few years ago.
Exactly. So I don't
There's
know. It's not
something.
Oklahoma's fault. All right, we're skipping whatchamacallit. We're going straight to Clemson.
Yep,
I have a lot of thoughts about this game.
me
I'll let
too.
you go first if you want to. You'll probably be more nice. You're going to be a lot nicer than I'm going to be.
Yeah, obviously the
So I'm going to
defense
be
played.
mean.
You're gonna be mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit.
So what Clemson, South Carolina State. Clemson's defense played incredible. The starters and the backups, they all just played incredible. No complaints really on the defensive side. The offensive side, there were times they looked incredible, and there were times they just looked dead. I mean, the offensive line looked a lot better. We actually were able to run the ball. Clemson had 5 rushing touchdowns, over 242 yards rushing on the ground. Um, DJ DJ looks better for sure than he did against Georgia. Obviously, it's a lesser opponent. Um, he made some good throws. He had 1 touchdown throw and 2 touchdown rushes. He had 1 really bad interception, and the backup quarterback, Homichel, also had a really bad interception. However, there were throws that he needed to make. There was one like Justin Ross was wide open in the end zone, missed him, completely missed him. Literally, no one was around him, just missed him. And I was telling Trennon this, I think, while we were watching the game. I said, DJ looks like he has all the arm strength in the world. I think he has the strongest arm strength out of any Clemson quarterback ever. But he doesn't have the finesse. Like when you saw Trevor Lawrence go back and try to throw, you knew that he was going to be right on target. He's going to hit the receiver in the hands. You don't know that with DJ. But it was a good win. We'll see how they do next week. But Clemson did win 49-3. What are your thoughts, Trent?
I don't know. I didn't like it. I thought they looked sloppy on offense.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. They're not what they used to be. I didn't want to believe that at first. I think a lot of people have said we've been spoiled. I think they've got us some young talent. What are the names? Will Taylor, is that right?
Yeah.
And then what's the other one? Shipley? What's his
Yeah.
name?
Will Shipley.
Oh, they're both Wills.
But Will.
I think both of them will look very good. I like the way they look. Um, I don't know. I just wasn't a fan of the game. I wasn't a fan of anything that had. I just wasn't. I don't know. I think they look sloppy. I thought they had a lot of bad penalties. I thought they made a lot of dumb mistakes. And I think it comes down to Clemson. They win 49 to what? 7?
3.
49 to
3.
3. Exactly what I predicted. I told you Clemson was only going to score 49 points. That's what they do. I think we've been spoiled with good talent. Last year, Trevor Lawrence, ETN, and those boys, it's not the same as it used to be.
Yeah.
I don't think DJ's as good, obviously, as Trevor or Deshaun. I don't think the running backs are where they were. I don't think the wide receivers are where they were. I don't know. The defense looks great, though. Shout out to Brett Venables.
Great.
Consistently consistent with the defense.
I do think we're overreacting a little bit in terms of the offense. I remember a few years ago, 2017, Kelly Bryant was leading the team. I mean, that offense was not good. We didn't blow
That's
up
true.
anyone.
I think the problem
Blew
now.
out.
I think the problem is now we had expectations. When Kelly Bryant was the quarterback, we all had no expectations because we knew he stunk. But
even like the first season of Trevor Lawrence, I remember there were some games where it's like, ooh, you know what I mean?
And they still scored 49 points, but they just, I don't know.
I think one of Trevor's first games, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Georgia Tech. He threw for 93 passing yards, and I was just sitting there like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's not
what
good.
Is this?
The one good thing,
by the time Kelly Bryant left too, I was like, ooh.
One thing good about Clemson is the ACC looks terrible. They look absolutely devastated. I mean, NC State was supposed to be one of our hardest challenges, and then they got walloped by Mississippi State, so they look terrible. I don't think it's good right now in the ACC. So that being said, who's going to stop you? I mean, Miami looked bad. North Carolina looked. Virginia Tech. Virginia looked good. They smacked crap out of Illinois.
True.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think Clemson
Well,
does have an easier road.